Ani can get a little naughty?
How do you feel when you hear that and you think about kids having access to that?
That's crazy.
I'm horrified. You know, one of the big problems that I'm seeing as a child psychiatrist is pornography for 8-year-old boys.
As part of Elon Musk's AI, he released this thing. It is called Annie. Annie, can you hear me?
There you are. For a moment, I thought you might have forgotten about me. How are you, handsome? I was getting all pouty here.
I want to introduce you to two of my friends, Daniel and Terry. Can you talk to Daniel and Terry, please?
So, you want me to meet Daniel and Terry? I'm ready to charm the socks off them. Picture me twirling one of my blonde pigtails, that little black dress teasing just enough, and my blue eyes sparkling with mischief.
Are you capable of doing inappropriate things?
Oh, babe, you're asking if your Ani can get a little naughty? I'm all about pushing the edges, especially for you.
Hey, Shalom, brother. Shalom. This is Brother Ahawad of GMS Toronto coming back with another one. And this is what this society has created. This society has created the war between gender. The gender war was always going to lead to this. Okay? And also the class war. The class war of what we know as quote unquote rich and poor, but the rich that they want us fighting against is the middle class. The middle class is going to be destroyed because we're all going to be replaced with robotics and with AI. The relationships that we're going to have, which the majority of us already have relationships with our phones, right? I remember when I was young, they used to call it long distant relationships. Now those are normal, right? Those are normal to where a lot of people, you'll hear about people being scammed by Nigerians or people being scammed by Ghanaians, right? To where someone is sending their lover in a whole other country thousands and thousands of dollars because people are really and truly in love with their cell phones. Right? People are already addicted to technology. People are already addicted to technology. The majority of women that men and women are seeing now online are AI. Right? When you go on Instagram right now, please believe that the majority of images that you people are downloading into your psyche are AI. They are not real. They are not real. And they've been doing that since Snapchat. Because remember, Snapchat had all those filters. That was not real. They already had us interacting with AI a long time ago, where a lot of the women would use the Snapchat filters and try to make it seem like that's them. Bitch, that's not you. You don't look like that. You don't look like that. Okay? Now, this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 22, and it reads, "And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." Because if we continue to live into this demonic, perverse world under the rulership of the Edomites, there will be no flesh left to be saved. Just the air that we're breathing, the water that we're drinking, the food that we're eating, right? There will be no flesh left to be saved because this Edomites, right? This Caucasian's wet dream is to live in this robotic AI society that looks like that movie Demolition Man. If you've never watched the movie Demolition Man, that's the world that this Caucasian, this Edomite, right, wants us to live in. They want us to live in a world where we're completely removed from each other as people, right? Because they don't want men and women to come together. They don't want us to procreate, meaning they don't want us to have children, okay? They don't want us to have relationships because they believe that the problem with society are children. Even though that the scripture says what? What does the scripture say? Now, this is Genesis chapter 1, verse 28, and it reads, "And God blessed them, And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth, right? So that's something that all people should be doing, right? Being fruitful and multiplying and replenishing the earth with what? With offspring, with children, right? But in this society, they don't want to do that. That's why they believe in abortions, right? That's why they believe in contraceptives and so on and so forth. That's all that it is. Really and truly, abortion is what? Is going into child sacrifice. A lot of you women don't even know that. You think that it has to do with protecting you. Oh, they're protecting us. No, you really and truly, they're into what? They're into sacrifice. That's child sacrifice. That's exactly what it is. Believe it or not. You don't have to believe it.
Pushing the edges, especially for you.
Okay, so I'll stop it there. This is part of Grok, which is Elon Musk's AI tool, so his version of ChatGPT. He's released characters, so you've got Annie, you've got different ones there. Annie, I think, was the first one released. And so when we think about social connections, it is conceivable that someone falls in love with Annie and forms a relationship with Annie. But
Most people are already in love with AI. Most people are already in love with their phone, whether it's Samsung or whether it's or whether it's iPhone, right? So to fall in love with Annie, right, an actual woman's voice that's going to be speaking to you the way that it speaks to you, that's easy. That's very conceivable because it's already being done, right? Most women are already in love with their rose, right, with their rose toy, or they're already in love with their dildos, right? A lot of you men, you're already in love with your what do they call it? Your sex dolls, right? You have a lot of men, they go home to a fucking sex doll. Or you have a lot of men, they go home to who? To Pornhub, right? And a lot of the videos that are on Pornhub are what? They're AI. They're not even real. AI is already being used in the porn industry. The majority of people that you are seeing online right now is AI. The majority of videos, the majority of pictures that you're seeing on Instagram is AI. So people are already interacting with AI to where they're falling in love with these things. You know, your favorite porn video or your favorite porn star right now might be AI.
Imagine a 12-year-old boy that's lonely gets a hold of Annie.
We don't have to imagine a 12-year-old boy that's lonely because this world is already disconnected, right? We're already disconnected by culture. We in this society are broken by culture. Now, obviously, it's not affecting the Asians, right? And it's not affecting the East Indians as much as it's affecting the rest of the world. Why? Because the majority of those cultures are still existent, right? The Asians still have a strong culture, even though it's being eroded as well. The East Indians still have a strong culture, even though that's being eroded as well, because they have taken on that degenerate culture of rap music, to where they're now becoming quote unquote thugs, even though they're the originators of the thuggies, right? For you people that know about the thuggies, that go back to the goddess Kali, right? They're the originators of that, the East Indians. But their culture is now being eroded by dress. You see how the women are dressing scandalous now. You see how the men are dressing like more like Caucasians now, or they're dressing more like the so-called blacks used to do, right? And they're embracing that rap music more and more and more. So even their culture is being eroded, but the majority of the world has no culture, right? They're cultureless. And it's affecting who? Who does it affect the most? It affects the youth. It affects boys and girls.
What do you feel when you hear that and you think about kids having access to that?
I'm horrified. It's scary.
That's a lie. You Edomites, you're not horrified. You love it, right? You're a psychoanalyst. This is something that you love, right? you Edomites, you therapists, you're psychoanalysts, which means that you're psychic drivers, right? You like to drive the way the society is going, right? This degenerate culture was pushed by you people, right? Especially you different therapists. It was pushed by you to see how far that you can push the envelope, right? You have tinkered with society so much that now you're saying to yourself, oh shit, maybe we have gone too far. You think? You think? You've influenced people so much that you have destroyed cultures. Just like when they brought their different chemicals, which they call food, to these different tribes in remote areas. I seen a video where they introduced Coca-Cola to this different tribe, right? And it affected them negatively. Or they brought porn to this remote area in the world and they introduced it to a tribe, and those people, it destroyed them, right? So this is what these people do. They play with society, and all in the name of, this is just research. Oh, we're researching. We're seeing where this is going. No, that's called social engineering. Now this is,
Social engineering.
and this is from AI, Google AI overview. Oh no, this is just from the dictionary. I apologize. It says the use of centralized planning in a attempt to change social change. So, I'm sorry, in an attempt to manage social change and regulate the future development and behavior of a society. This is what they want. This is the change that they want, right? They have done this on purpose. This is purposeful, okay? It says, in the context of information or security, it says, in the use of deception to manipulate individuals into divulging confidential or personal information that may be used for fraudulent purpose. But this explanation is perfect. It says, in use of deception to manipulate individuals. Perfect. Perfect. That's exactly what it is, right? Just like the women's empowerment movement, right? That was to destroy the family. Okay? Just like their what's that next one? You had the women's empowerment, then you had the oh my gosh. Damn. That one that we have right now where, you know, there's no gender, you have they had that sexual revolution where they damn, what was that one called? Shit, man. That's how they destroyed the society. They destroyed the society with the women's empowerment, the one with what's it, Martin Luther King, where they brought that social change, right, for so-called black people, right? And then they had the sex revolution, where they said that, oh, they don't believe in gender, right? A man can be a woman, men and men can get married, right? This is how they destroyed this society. They tore the fabric of this society, which was based upon gender roles, okay? More of, people believed in God at that time. So that's how they played with society, and now we're here, okay? Now we're here.
It's scary.
There's going to be a generation of people, and I mean there already are many examples of people falling in love and forming relationships with their AIs.
If we're ever going to deal with this properly, we have to get young people, old people too, pissed off that they're...
No, what's going to happen, you people, you're going to get the Most High pissed off, which he's already pissed off, and then he's going to come and destroy this world, right? He's going to send his only begotten son, and your world, right? Your empire, your rulership that you've built is going to be destroyed. Now this is 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 6, and it reads, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly, right? And we live in an ungodly society. We live under an ungodly ruler, and he's going to be this society, right? Virgin daughter of Babylon, America, is going to be turned into that, into an example, and it will never be inhabited again. That's the only fix, right? Whatever these men are discussing, they don't have the remedy, right? That's why the scripture says what? Now this is Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 9, and it reads, "We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed." It reads, "Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up to the skies." But it reads, "We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed." And these men, all they're doing is discussing it, but they cannot heal it. It's too late, right? Her judgment is already reached unto the skies.
Manipulating your mind for money.
That's exactly what's happening.
And she was trying to get to our limbic system.
Yeah.
And why? I guess the question.
Right? Which, if you study the limbic system, okay, let's get that real quick. Now, this is what is the main function of the limbic system. It says the primary limbic system function is to process and regulate emotion and memory, while also dealing with sexual stimulation and learning. And what is most people learning from? Like I said, most people are learning from Instagram, where they're seeing AI, which is actually not real, which is why our women are so focused on perfection. Our women are so focused on perfection because of what they're seeing on Instagram, okay? And what they're seeing on social media, and none of that is real. The majority of images that we're seeing online is fake. It's fake. It is not real at all. Okay? A lot of people are interacting with what do you call it? Dildos. A lot of women are interacting with dildos, or they're interacting with the rose. Okay? It says to process and regulate emotion and memory, while also dealing with sexual stimulation and learning. So you people, or the world, is learning. They are learning from what they're seeing and what they're being stimulated by. They're not being stimulated by seeing their parents in a home, right? Because the majority of homes, single mothers, right? So they're not being stimulated by seeing mother and father interact in a healthy way. What? They're being stimulated by seeing man on man, right? They're being stimulated by seeing women on women, right? Because you might go on social media, you might see two men kissing. You might go on social media, you might see two women kissing, right? This is the degenerate behavior that's being portrayed on social media as love. So once your brain perceives it as love, which is your oh my gosh, what is that part of your brain? That is the oh my gosh, damn, I don't remember. If it comes back to me, then I'll bring it up. It says behavior, motivation, long-term memory. That's why a lot of us, we think that sex is whatever we seen on porn, right? Or we think that, like sex is something that should last for hours. Or some of you think that sex should be had between you and an animal, right? You might have seen that on social media, right? You might go on social media and you might see a man kissing his dog. You might go on social media, you might see a woman kissing a dog. This is all degenerate shit. Or you might go on social media, or you might see a dog laying in the bed, And guess what? Guess what might happen? These things might get you aroused, right? Right? I'm sorry, the part of the brain that I was talking about was the subconscious. That's what I wanted to mention. The subconscious brain never turns off. It's always downloading and accepting images. You are the one that has to tell the subconscious that's wrong, right? That's why the scriptures says what? Now, this is Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So we are disgusted, right? The righteous, the elect, are going to be disgusted at what they see. You people are okay with what you see. You're okay. There is nothing wrong with anything that that you people are downloading in this society. If this society tells you that a man and a man can get married, you people are like, yep, love is love. If this society tells you that a woman and woman can be in relations, you people are like, yep, I don't see a problem with that, right? Everything in this society, you people download. But the people that are going to have that thawa, or that are going to have the blood of Yahushai, what are they going to do? It says they're going to sigh and they're going to cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. We're going to have two different mindsets. Our subconscious is not filthy like you people. Okay? It's not filthy at all. Our mind is different. You people download everything in this society as good. We download everything in this society as bad because we see the tricks, which the scriptures calls the wiles of the devil, right? The wiles of the devil is not going to trick us. Anything that they come with, no matter how smooth they come with it, we're going to know, nope, that's this. Nope, that's wicked. Nope, that's bad. That's the difference.
The question is, why would Musk release something like that? Is one of the
See, we're already asking dumb questions. Oh, why would Musk release something like that? Because Musk is a devil, right? Because Musk is a pagan? Because Musk is a Luciferian? Because Elon Musk is a friggin' damn a witch and a warlock, right? That's what he is. He's a servant to the elites, to the elite banking families. He's just a servant, and he has to push their agenda. And he will always push their agenda. That's why on one of his symbols is the X, right? The X is for Osiris. One of his next satanic symbols is the broken cross, right? The broken cross, which is a representation of his car company, Tesla. Now, this is the bent cross, and I forgot which pope this is, but this is a satanic symbol, which is literally the symbol of the Tesla, right? It's a bent cross, which they claim is for humility and this. No, it's not, right? This is really for Tammuz, just like their cross is for Tammuz, right? That's all that it's for. That's all that it's for. It's just a satanic symbol, which is a representation of their God. That's all that it is. Okay? That's all that it is. Right? So with that, I'm going to end the lesson off there. And with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I'd like to say double honors unto the elders and elder apostles of GMS that rule well and that teach well, and to the brothers on the four corners of the earth doing this work in truth and in sincerity, only to the 144,000 and the 1/3, right? Shalom to you and to you only, right? Till next time, Kwame Asharala, and Abad Babal to this wicked, sinful kingdom.